The combination of a low-class warrior and a Saiyan elite created the perfect warrior. We know it, and we know him as Vegito. Goku and Vegeta have their weaknesses and their strengths, but when fused together, it combines to make something truly amazing. I rewatched the fight between Vegito and Merge Zamasu, and I was wondering, what if Vegito stayed fused during this fight and after the fact as well? Well, for starters, Vegito wouldn't necessarily be able to beat Merge Zamasu even with their insane strength, and Zamasu's disintegration would lead him to becoming one with the universe just like in canon. But with the push of a button, Vegito would summon Zeno, who would be confused initially at who this person was, just like he was confused with Goku, but would oblige in the elimination and erasure of Zamasu. Vegito and the others would escape and return, taking Zeno with them with the Goku side of Vegito, believing that this could be the playmate for their present Zeno. But after all that is said and done, the question would arise about the fact that Vegito isn't unfusing, and this is where things in the timeline would begin to change. Supreme Kai would inform Vegito that they were forced to lie about the Potara's time limit to convince them to fuse once again for the sake of defeating Zamasu. They would be pretty angry about this, but then would think that they would unfuse with the Dragon Balls. But when attempting to do so, Shenron would tell them that this power, or this action, is far out of his power and he can't do such an action. Vegito would end up having to break the news to everyone, including their families, and creating definitely a very odd dynamic, to say the least. But when meeting with Whis and Beerus once again, it seemed that Whis is extremely excited and would kind of be excited about this whole occurrence altogether, believing that Vegito is the perfect warrior to learn how to use Ultra Instinct. And after Beerus learns that the Universal Tournament is bound to happen, he believes that training this new warrior is in the cards for both Whis and himself. Beerus would tell Whis that Vegeta had the primal instincts of the Saiyans deep within himself, but Goku had the calmness and the ability to use his instincts and more or less allow them to take over. So he believes that Vegito learning the ways of both Ultra Instinct and the way of destruction may benefit them in the long run, especially since Goku got them into this scenario in the very first place. They might as well do everything they can to get them out of it. Training would begin, but it would be obvious that the training in both Destruction and Ultra Instinct would be extremely difficult. But before the Expo to show future Zeno a glimpse of what the Tournament of Power may look like, Whis would watch as his brand new star pupil would awaken a small glimmer of the power they had been chasing. But this power wasn't normal. It didn't feel like Ultra Instinct, but it also didn't feel like the power of destruction. Vegito would get a chance during the Zeno's Expo to show off his raw power against Bergamo, but this power wasn't anything compared to what he could be doing in the near future. He just needs a power that would push him over the edge. Toppo would step in front of Vegito, but before anything could even ensue, the Grand Priest would step in and stop the fight. Even he would know that there's no point in fighting here and that they should wait to the Tournament of Power. Maybe he thought that Vegito would completely kill him. We're not so sure, but they would agree, and Vegito would go off to recruit his team, adding everyone from the normal canon. But why not also adding Yamcha after deciding that they might as well add him because he practically is implying that he wants to join so badly. The Tournament of Power would be hands down the perfect place for Vegito to transcend to the next level for various reasons. But the two main reasons would include the obvious opponent in Universe 11's Jiren, but also the other is something a bit out of the ordinary. Vegito would be surrounded by powers, ranging from small to universal, and it would begin to oddly fuel Vegito. Beerus and Whis would even remark to each other about this specifically, thinking that this may be the start of seeing the power that they saw just a little glimpse of. All that needs to happen now is to patiently wait as the fight between Vegito and Jiren would begin to ramp up exponentially. Jiren increases his power to his absolute max, and Vegito ramps up to his own Super Saiyan Blue form, and it seems that Jiren may still have the slight edge, and without the others assisting Gohan trying to deal with Toppo and the others dealing with their own battles, Vegito is knocked out of his Super Saiyan Blue form by a max power Jiren. Jiren would have this victory. Jiren has won the battle, but it seems that he hasn't won the war. He points his hand at Vegito and calls him a worthy combatant, a warrior, and that if he was just a little stronger, he may have won. Jiren doesn't understand one thing though. He has just cornered a wounded animal, and his primal instincts are about to be unleashed. The blast would immediately land right on Vegito, but as the smoke would fade, Jiren could feel it. This primal presence, a predator, as if the apex predator is now behind him. Primal Instinct Vegito. He has been unleashed, donning a white and purple hair, and everyone watching from the stands begins to stand up. The gods of destruction who still live and the angels that observe are captivated by this power. Whis would smile, and Beerus would ask if this is the true godly power of the perfect Saiyan warrior, and Whis would nod, and he would introduce to everyone this brand new type of power. It wasn't Ultra Instinct, and it wasn't the powers of destruction. This was the true godly power for the warriors who are known as the Saiyans. This is the primal instinct of the warrior that is neither Goku nor Vegeta. This is the power of Primal Instinct Vegito. Vegito would use the finesse of Ultra Instinct, but the power of destruction would bring out the primal side of Vegito's Saiyan nature, and his power would continue to climb the more energy that is being used all around him. It's as if he was feeling the effects of these animal instincts, or in a way smelling prey that need to be defeated. Vegito would use this ever-growing power to defeat Jiren and every powerful being in the Tournament of Power, and the gods would quickly realize that this godly power was so primal, was so brutish, but who were they to talk? This Saiyan warrior has evolved further than even the gods of destruction. After Universe 7's victory, Vegito would wish the other universes back, and many of the gods of destruction would even think to themselves that maybe their love for fighting made them seem so ungodly, but their heart seemed to be still pure enough to do something so selfless. Vegito would continue training under Whis, and frankly, Whis would think he would be the perfect candidate to take over the role of God of Destruction, and maybe this would be in the cards for Vegito, but for now, he hunts. He hunts throughout the universe for battles, and seeks out challengers that vary in strength drastically, from a very, very, very powerful and ever-evolving Saiyan by the name of Broly, a planet-eating wizard by the name of Moro, and even beings that seek out strength-fulfilling shortcuts that would help them surpass the perfect Saiyan. But every battle ends the same. Vegito is truly the perfect warrior, and an ever-evolving one at that. But this is the end of what I believe what would happen if Vegito stayed fused after the Goku Black arc. Was this a little bit of a fan fiction-y take on it? Of course. But I enjoyed the idea and I had to bring this to the YouTube channel. But let me know what you think if Vegito, or what would have happened if Vegito stayed fused after the Goku Black arc, or just in general. What do you think would have happened? Do you think a new form would sprout out of this, being that we know of Ultra Ego and also Ultra Instinct? Maybe you think he'll only go down the Ultra Ego route, or maybe you only think he'll go down the Ultra Instinct route. Nonetheless, I hope y'all enjoyed, and if you did, show some love, leave a like, leave a sub, leave a comment down below, and I appreciate all the love and support, and I hope all y'all have an amazing day. Later.